Welcome to episode 170 of Fresh Air at 5. In this episode, you're going to hear a few things. You're going to hear about some strategies for getting through your day, and I'm going to talk about a Pro D opportunity at the end of it that you might be interested in, that I'm interested in. No, anyhow, it's happened, and by the time you hear this, it's over, but it's an opportunity that I had. All right, without further ado, thanks for listening to Fresh Air at 5, episode 170.
I'm Shanna Martin, host of the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Welcome to Fresh Air at 5, the podcast. I'm your host, Brian Carpenter, coming to you every week from Abbotsford, which is about 45 minutes east of Vancouver, British Columbia, on the west coast of Canada. Fresh Air at 5 is my regular attempt to get some fresh air by walking about my neighborhood, which is located on the traditional and unceded territory of the Stolo people, the Simath First Nation and Mathwe First Nation. I consume podcast content while I walk, then reflect on this content in an unedited video, which I post on my X, formerly known as Twitter, channel every day. This podcast is the collection of the audio taken from those daily selfie videos over the course of a week, Monday to Friday. So let's jump into my listening and learning this past week. Hey, PLN, Monday, May 13, 2024, out for Fresh Air at 5. It's a beautiful morning, overcast, 12 degrees Celsius, and not raining. This past weekend, we had really nice weather here. It was like 28 degrees Celsius, and I turned my air conditioning on my house because it was, time to turn the air conditioning on. Mid-May, and it's awesome. So, beautiful weather, enjoying it right now. All right, this morning, I'm reflecting on the weekend. It was Mother's Day. Got to spend some time with my mom on Sunday, and then my family, my kids, and I went into Vancouver for dinner last night and spent some time together. So that was a lot of fun. Just for a note, the Canucks are advancing through round 2 of the playoffs against the Oilers and won the hockey game last night. So that's super good. Canucks fan here. All right, this morning as I'm walking, I listened to Embrace the Messy podcast. Can't remember the episode, but if you look for Kim Strobel, Embraces the Messy, you will find this episode that I'm listening to right now. I'm not done because it's good and it's long. It's about an hour and 7 minutes long. And Shannon Schenkel talks with Kim about her experience growing up and having panic disorders and her life as a young person before we understood what panic disorders were, and all the mental wellness that we have today. So fascinating to listen to. Kim, thank you for your vulnerability as you share with the world about the insides of you. That's significant. It's a lot. And I'm thankful that you got up off that green carpet in your bathroom that one day. And here you are today. So we need to take care of ourselves before we get to a point where we're laying on the bathroom floor. But if we don't know how to do that, then, still being honest with ourselves that we do need some help, and it's not a bad thing. I need help. We all need help. We all got a thing. So thanks so much. I'm going to continue listening to this episode. Kim Strobel, Teach Happy. Her book just came out. And thank you, Shannon. Have a fabulous day. Bye. Hey PLN, it's May 15, 2024. This morning it is thin, overcast sky. We got some pink coming in behind me a little bit, and it's a good morning to get out for a walk. you know, when things start getting tough, you gotta have a way of getting through these things and seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Things right now at work are tough. They're not great. And I won't share any more about that here, but you know, the motivation every day to do what I do, you know, I do it to serve the kids that I work with at school. And I need to remember that the reason I'm a teacher is because I want to see young minds changed and improved, and getting back to that why of, you know, students can be learners. They can do things that are hard, and we need to be there to support them as they go through. We've got our grad coming up at our school. It's a very small grad, but it's important because we have stories of individual kids. We've got about probably 25 students that will be coming to our grad ceremony, if not a little few less than that. But every one of them has a unique story, as all of our students do. But when you're in a big high school and the grad class is, you know, 300, 400, 500, you don't get to hear those stories. So at my school, we get to celebrate stories. It's fantastic. All right, this morning I listened to episode 102 of Evolving with Gratitude, as Lainey Rowell talks to John R. Mills. John, I think it's John. He is a former naval officer and a CEO, and now is a motivational speaker and the author of a book called Passion Struck. Talks about living with intentionality, and we need to say in our lives that we should live with intentionality, live with wisdom of what's going on, or we live in ignorance of what's going on. And so it's not about all the knowledge of all the things, but how do we navigate those things wisely? Take a listen. You'll be encouraged. I was encouraged. He talked a lot about a lot of things, so I got to go back and re-listen to this. Thanks. Have a great day. Thanks, Lainey. Bye. Hey PLN, it is Thursday, May 16, 2024. Happy birthday to my son. He turns 21 today. And yes, proud of him. Third year electrician, apprentice, and making a difference in the electrical world, I hope. Yes, he's doing good. He's doing good. All right, this morning out for fresh air at 5. It's a little bit cooler this morning, about 9 degrees Celsius. But that's okay, because cool is okay. We've been getting into some nice warm afternoons. Turned the air conditioner on last week for the first time this year. So we're getting into the warmer weather. Super great. And it's light in the morning. It is actually just after 5 a.m. this morning, and the light is coming up really nice. So hope it's nice where you are. And yes. All right, I listened to what's called Season 6, Episode 185. So of the Tech Tools for Teachers with Shanna Martin and Fuzz Martin, and they've been doing this for 6 seasons. Fantastic. And on their 185th episode, they talk on this episode about avatar makers, specifically about Cartoon Eyes, which has changed its name to Color Cinch, and the avatar maker in there, as well as Pixton. So those two tools allow you to get your students to be creative and come up with little avatars of themselves, little personas maybe of themselves that they can use in other projects. There's something similar in Adobe Express for animate with your voice, but that is not the same as just having an image of an avatar, a headshot that you can use in places like profile pictures, etc. All right, check it out. I think, Shanna, that this is what I'm going to use in my class today as we talk about being creative. All right, thanks all. Have a good day. Talk to you soon. Bye. APLN May 17, 2024, downtown Vancouver this morning. I took the West Coast Express train in because it's a Pro D Day, and I'm attending the Changing Culture of Change conference from the Pacific Institute of Mathematical Sciences at Simon Fraser University Harbor Center campus. I've been invited to participate in this conference by Phil Stringer, so thank you, Phil, for the invitation. I'm down here now, And as I was coming down, I listened to episode 267 of the Easy EdTech podcast with Monica Burns. And she brings us an episode of how to use artificial intelligence to be able to teach vocabulary to your class, and how you can use these tools for, creating content that can help in delivering vocabulary, graphics and stories and Mad Libs and all kinds of things like that. You should take a listen to this episode. She brings a lot of tools to the front that can be used, like Adobe Firefly and other image generators, for creating images and graphical content that can be of utility to you. So there's that. It's a beautiful day right now. The sun's shining. It's about plus 10 degrees Celsius, and I'm looking forward to the conference. I've been invited to be a panelist to talk about artificial intelligence and mathematics, and my understanding as I was at the Ministry of Education of where the Ministry of Education in British Columbia is at, I don't really know 100%, but I'm going to share my learning that I've done. So yes. All right, have a fabulous day, have a fabulous weekend. We are off this weekend to go up country. I'm going to do some fishing on Saturday and Sunday with my buddy. Our wives are coming, they're going to hang out at the resort, and it'll be a great time to be away. All right, have a good one. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. I appreciate you giving me a listen as I've created this podcast experience for you. It's like a unique Blinkist or Coles Notes version of the content I take in, like a highlight reel, so that you can hopefully find some other interesting podcasts you may not have considered before. I've recorded the specific episode podcast titles and episode numbers in the show notes, which are only a click or swipe away for your learning convenience. I've also started to put together a Spotify playlist of each of the episodes so that you can also take a listen to those specifically, and the link to that playlist is in the show notes. Please subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming episodes. And if you enjoy this podcast and its format, share it with someone else. You can also follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Brian Carr, BRYONCAR, or at Fresh Air at 5. Tweet about your experience or give it a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. Fresh Air at 5 can be found on the Educational Podcast Network. Podcasts for educators, podcasts by educators. I hope you have a fantastic day. Get some fresh air before the day is out, and take care of yourself, because you are worth it.